Well, hello, this is Dr. Victoria Dunstan, and I am overjoyed over this exciting project that I've just completed. Me and my team have spent countless numbers of hours doing research and talking about an issue that I'm going to share with you on this platform tonight. I've written a book called Sista-Sista, and it is a legacy series dedicated to my granddaughters. So you're going to see them featured in each and every book. There's a total of 10 books that are being written, and you're going to see them showcased and in the pages of this wonderful, wonderful book. I'm excited. They're excited. My team is excited. And tonight we just want to talk to you about the book because we want you to understand that it's more than just a book. And so I have a member of my team that's in the waiting room that's going to come on and going to talk to us a little bit about his experience in helping me to get this tremendous project ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome to the show tonight, Jamari Sowell. Well, welcome.
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful. You know what? I want everybody to take a moment, take out your phone, your computer, however you're viewing us right now, and I want you to like it, I want you to love it, and I want you to share it. I want you to let everybody know that we're on the air because I believe this is an important topic that we need to talk about. Again, it's more than just a children's book. It is dedicated to Black and brown girls that help to build up their self-esteem. So you had the awesome privilege of working with me on this project.
Yes.
How has that been?
It's been an amazing opportunity. I've definitely learned so much. I've been growing in everything that I've been discovering, especially on how racial identity impacts our young Black and brown girls, and on the self-esteem and self-worth and even the value that we place on them and that society views them as. And this experience has just been so great in working with you, Dr. Victoria, and it's been such a pleasure.
And with that being said, it was not an easy task, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was tedious at times. We definitely, had to share our suggestions and our creative thoughts. But all at the end, taking your vision and just ensuring that we can relate that, to all of the rest of the world and many people around the world. It's definitely been such a great impact for me, not only being able to research, but also being able to see all of the impacts that this book is getting ready to have on the entire world.
So you talk about my vision. It's important for me to know that you know the vision in terms of why or the heart in terms of why I wrote this book. Did I communicate that to you and to the rest of the team? And if so, could you share that with our audience tonight?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Most definitely. The vision was definitely communicated well. Our mission here is basically to serve those and other people all around the world and offer personalized services. And I am most definitely excited about all that we have to offer to everyone, especially our Black and brown young girls who have been so disproportionately affected by many of the institutions here in America, that we have to be subjected to and have to attend to in daily life. So your vision was definitely well communicated. I was so happy to collaborate with you and just to take your heart and to be able to implement it into this book that we're getting ready to present.
So that required a lot of research. I mean, I'm really, really excited about all the research that you were able to bring to the table. Because again, people think when you write a book, you just put pictures and words on a page, especially when it comes to children. But
Right.
I wanted y'all to understand that there are statistical reasons as to
Oh,
why this book is so important to building the self-esteem of, young Black and brown girls. We know that racism is, it's a systemic issue in
yeah.
America. It
Yeah.
affects both male and female. But
Yeah.
because I was writing this female book, you were able to find some statistics. And one of those statistics state that racial identity and levels of racial discrimination have shown to closely impact the self-esteem or the self-worth of Black Americans at large, but specifically young girls. So, can you talk to us a little bit about, about some of the statistics that you discovered about, how it affects self-worth and self-esteem?
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely. I've had a lot of research, many hours staying up, many nights, just researching, watching videos, educating myself on the science in the science community as well as in other institutions that have these facts. And yes, I will share a couple. One major one that stuck out to me was more than 90% of Black Americans have experienced racist events during their lifetime, and many come into contact with racism daily. As being female and being Black both increases a young woman's risk for developing low self-esteem, racism and sexism causes Black girls to face brutal stressors. And given the multiple negative consequences associated with low self-esteem among Black adolescent girls, research suggests that gender-specific intervention programs aimed at strengthening self-esteem be developed and implemented during adolescence. And in researching those, it was basically so phenomenal to understand that as a young woman, for other young women and other young Black women, self-esteem that they experience in America today is very, very treacherous to them, and it can tear down their self-esteem. But I do believe that with our book that we're getting ready to introduce to the world, that we'll be able to give them a sense of joy, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of self-esteem and self-value, because Black girls with strong racial identities report higher levels of self-esteem in comparison to those who do not identify strongly with their race. So whenever you begin to encourage young Black women or young Black girls, then you begin to help them develop themselves as they grow older, and they're able to have a positive outlook on themselves, not only internally, but outwardly, externally.
Exactly. So it's real important. One thing that you presented to us was during our time of brainstorming and storyboarding, where
Yeah.
you brought some statistics, and I'm going to share my screen. This is going to
Okay.
be my first time doing this. I'm going to share my screen,
Okay.
and I'm going to, kind of let everybody, kind of see a little bit of this amazing
We be
TED
Black
Talk.
if we can't be Black in Africa? It's a good question. Around the world, Black girls are grappling with this question. And around the world, Black girls are struggling to be seen, working to be free, and fighting to be included in the landscape of promise that a safe space to learn provides. In the US, little girls just past their toddler years are being arrested in classrooms for having a tantrum. Middle school girls are being turned away from school because of the way they wear their hair naturally or because of the way the clothes fit their bodies. High school girls are experiencing violence at the hands of police officers in schools. Where can Black girls be Black without reprimand or punishment?
Wow.
And so amazing.
Wow.
I love that she said. I love that she said in the beginning, "If where can you be Black in America if you can't be Black anywhere else?" Like that.
Where can you be Black if you can't be Black in Africa? In Africa is actually what she said. And so I discovered, after running a private school for so many years, I had so many girls that
Yeah.
came in, and I discovered that many of them have been suspended or expelled from regular school, or they were misunderstood simply because of, they are misclassified. There's age compression that's involved. There is adultification that's involved. They're seen as loud, as oppositional, simply because of the way that they speak. There's 7 times, statistics show that they are 7 times more likely to be suspended than their white counterparts.
Yes.
They're 3 times more likely to be referred to juvenile court. Can you imagine a child, as we saw on the video, as the young lady was doing her TED Talk, and she was bringing those statistics to a platform, and if you would have looked in the audience, it was filled with people of many races.
Right.
Some other races are not even aware that there is this racial divide. They've lived in such a place to where they thought it was normal, because I'm from North Carolina, so I went to school in North Carolina, and my school was predominantly Caucasian. And so I was raised in an environment where I knew both white and black people in the school system. But when I moved to Florida was very much segregated.
Yes, ma'am.
Jones High School that was predominantly black, and you might have another school that was predominantly white. And when you offer private education predominantly in the neighborhood where I was offering it, I found that a lot of girls had been through so many things in our community that their self-esteem was already torn down.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to write this book. It's why I wanted to get this into the hands of every individual that has a little girl, so that they can know this is what's happening. This is how America is presenting your daughter. If you don't tell them that she's beautiful, if you don't tell her that she's special, and that's what this Sista-Sista book is going to do. It's going to tell them that they are special. They are beautiful. To learn to appreciate your braids, learn to appreciate the thickness of your lips, learn to appreciate the fact that you might be a little bit more curvy. And the adultification piece comes in when they try to project that our 5-year-old little girls are more adult-like than the white counterparts. And so that's something we discussed when we had our meeting. We had to talk about that because it's true. We are more curvy.
Yeah,
it's
very true.
We develop sometimes a little bit faster. We sometimes we ourselves within our own community, we look at little girls that are thick, and so this book is going to take away that stigma. It's going to teach young girls, how to appreciate who they are and what it is that they bring to the table. So we got to destroy.
Yes, ma'am.
So what else did you get from your research on this particular topic?
And again, I like that you talked about the adultification piece. The definition basically says that adultification comprises contextual, social, and developmental processes in which youth are prematurely and often inappropriately exposed to adult knowledge and assume extensive adult roles and responsibilities. And I love that they put it that way, because in school, in my research, I was just looking and learning that a lot of the times teachers even identify young girls and young Black boys as though they should already know how to behave when it comes to certain types of childlike behaviors. And in a way that is very unfair, being as though that is something that every child has to go through in their growing process and in their learning process. It is okay to be a child, and it is okay to learn and not know things, because you have the right to grow and to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. So in learning about adultification, I think we have to go ahead and start to strike down all of the different ideological beliefs that society has placed on our young Black women of color or our young Black men and expect them to know certain information or put on them information that they should have the ability to not know yet, and I think that it is very sad, but I believe that in this book and in our legacy series that we're getting ready to release, I think that we will start to enter into a place and into a realm where many people will be affected by this. Not only will young Black girls be touched, but people all over the world, kings and queens and ministers and presidents and all types of people all over the world will start to see that this education is vital for the furtherment of their society, and we need this in our schools. We need this inside of, every center and every book club and every single area that Black and brown girls are in. And at this point in 2020, we're everywhere, so I believe that this book again is going to be so inspirational and motivational.
Right. And I think you said it so perfectly. In 2020, we are everywhere. We are everywhere as African American people, be it male, be it female, be it, our children. And it has to be embraced, first of all, by our own community. We have to embrace the girls. We've got to look at them and tell them that they're beautiful. We've got to look at them and tell them that they're smart. We got to continue to build them up. And so when I feel like God placed this in my heart, because he wanted me to leave a legacy to my granddaughters. And I believe, and I dedicate this book to them, to all of them. The first series features 3 of them, but I have about 7 of them, some by adoption, or I call them bonus children. I want them to have the advantage that I did not have. I want them to know that they are loved and that they were so special that I would create a whole book series about them. That's something that they'll never forget. I may not see them every day, but, passing the baton, letting them know you are so special. You have your own book. Oh my goodness. Who did that? So I love these 3 girls that I feature in this particular book. These 3 girls have a personality all of their own. As a matter of fact, let me let y'all hear from them. Bye. Did y'all hear that?
Buy our book, Sister-Sister.
See, that's those 3 right there have their own personality. They are phenomenal. I kept them, maybe a couple of months ago, and they gave me a run for my money. They gave me a run for my money, I would have to say. They waited after the first day because they wanted to be back with their parents. But Zoe had taken my iPad and taken pictures of everything. She never tells me, all of me, fixing my hair. I have so many different types of hair. Fixing one of my hairs, I don't know which one. She had pictures all in my iPad, and she is all the way back to North Carolina. And I'm looking at my iPad, and I'm like, when does she have time to do this? And then you have Winter.
Lord.
Winter has a person, she runs the whole house, the whole family, and then you have Chanel. She's the oldest. All of them are smart. All of them are beautiful. Those are just 3 of my granddaughters, and are featured in the first book. And it's so amazing that you have the awesome opportunity of learning how to put a book together, learning how to research, learning how to become a self-editor. Those are all priceless gifts.
Yes,
and those I'm giving to you. I'm teaching you how to do it. In other words, it doesn't matter if it's a dream in your heart. It doesn't matter who supports you or who doesn't support you. You just do it. You just find a way to make it happen. And that's what I did with the Sister-Sista book. And, and so I'm so excited. I took the step. I'm so excited that the book is finished. For those of you who want to order, you can pre-order the book today. Up until they come out for sale, they're going to be $7. You can go to my personal website, which is still, which is drvictoriadunstan.com. And if you scroll down to the featured product section, you'll be able to purchase that book. I did create a place for you to put your address, your phone number, and all that stuff, so I can stay in touch with you. But I want to get this book into the hands of everybody that I know. I just want to say thank you, Jamari, for being here. I'm going to conclude. I'm going to talk to the audience a little bit. But is there anything else you wanted to add before I pop you out? Good. You good?
Basically, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure you pre-order your copy today. Go to the website. Remember, it's only $7. Contact her at inspiredwoman@gmail.com or give her a text message on the phone number that you see below, and get ready for this phenomenal book that we're getting ready to release.
Yes. Thank you. So again, I want to thank Jamari so much for his hard work. Not just Jamari, but my whole team. I want to thank God, for Tara, for Ashley, for everybody that's working with me. I got some more people that's working with me, but maybe not on this particular project. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you have contributed. And I want to reiterate the fact that there is a situation in our land where women are not being valued as they should, especially women of color. And even as we have, in America, we're rising to great phenomenal levels. We know that, we've had a Black first lady. We have a Black lady, running for vice president this particular year. And we are making a lot of strides, but there's still a lot of progress that need to be made. And in order for us to build up the self-worth and the self-esteem of other young girls, we have to stop tearing down each other. We cannot speak about other women, of any woman actually, in a negative or derogatory way. We definitely cannot allow children to be exploited. Even in our studies, as we did this round table, we found out that even in sexual trafficking, when they take our girls sometimes are sold for less than the white counterparts. And so with that being the case, that could make even a girl in a situation like that feel even less valuable. I decided I would do a book club. So once we're finished, once we get this book out there and make people aware of what's going on in our society and get people on board with us, I will set up private times where I just read to young girls, things that will build up their self-esteem. I would love to be able to put on a pageant that would allow people to bring their young girls and be taught by people that are professional and people that are actors and actresses, and pour into these young girls, and give them tiaras so that they can feel special, doing special days, special projects. This is so much bigger than just a book. I want to create an opportunity to pour into girls to have something that I wish somebody would have given unto me. See, when girls do not grow up feeling loved and valued and beautiful, they make wrong choices in relationships. They make wrong choices in so many areas. They grow up, they don't feel worthy, and sometimes it keeps them from getting to that level where they could really go. I want my granddaughters, I want all my grandchildren to be successful, all of my children, all of my grandchildren, but specifically these young girls. I want them to dream big. I want your young girls to dream big. And I want to do everything possible to help facilitate in helping those dreams to come to pass. I want them to dream about being a president or a president's president's wife or a vice president or a business owner or a homeowner, or just a housewife, whatever it is, whatever the dream is, I want to be a part of helping to build that. That is why this legacy book, this legacy series is going to be so much more bigger than just the book. I promise you, this is the first one. And I want you to order. I want you to order some for Christmas. I want you to order like 10 copies. Just order 10 copies and make sure all your grandchildren have some. Make sure your friends have some, and part of what will happen with the proceeds of this book, we'll be able to put some of those proceeds back into the events that I talked to you about. But primarily, I'm setting up a fund to help with my granddaughters when they get older, that they'll be able to utilize whatever the proceeds were from the book to build either their business or their brand. I want them to grow up with a mindset of becoming business owners, not just getting a job. I believe the entrepreneurial spirit can be passed down to every single generation. And I believe that we can do our part. And I know as a woman, sometimes you can feel disadvantaged because you know how the song goes, this is a man's world. Well, when you're in a man's world and you're a woman and you're climbing up through the ranks, you got to have that determination that nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to keep me from my dreams. I don't care how hard I got to keep going at it. I'm going to keep going at it until I reach absolutely every goal that I set for myself. So this is not just for young women. This is for anybody. This is for absolutely anybody who has a dream. You will eventually have to deal with racism, and you will eventually have to deal with situations where you don't have the advantage, or you may have to overcome certain obstacles that people will put in your way. But I just challenge you. I challenge all of us, especially as women, to build up each other and not tear each other down, and to straighten each other's crown. And I want you to support me in my effort to get this book out there and create the platform that I believe is so necessary in 2020. Listen, go to my website, drvictoria.com, order about 10 copies. I mean, $7, that's less than $100 investment into you. What you make happen for somebody else, I'm telling you, God will make happen for you. So until next time, this is Dr. Victoria talking to you about our Sista-Sista Legacy series, and I want you to order. All right. Have a great evening.